Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and today we're going to be talking about the future of Rom V at DC Comics. That's right everybody, thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups, this is Pop Culture Philosophers, and today we're going to be talking about the future of Rom V at DC Comics. Why? Because it seems like it could be possibly coming to an end. But most likely not. So let's talk about it. So Rom V has a newsletter called Fly by Soul. You really need to check it out if you haven't already. I'll throw a link in the description below so you can get subbed up to that and get all kinds of great information and ideas from Rom himself. Now, he doesn't do the newsletter super often, but when he does, it's definitely well worth it. Well, in the newest issue or newsletter of Fly by Soul, he basically tells us that his time on Catwoman and Justice League Dark is over. It's done as of December, right? He says that he was hitting a point in Catwoman, for instance, where it was hitting this big climactic moment and then going to go right into a Fear State tie-in. Well, that's happened this week. We've gotten that issue already. So we are here on the last act of Rom V's work on Catwoman. That saddens me because I really liked his run on Catwoman, but I also do feel that it wasn't quite as good as some of his other works. Not that it wasn't quite as good, but that it wasn't quite the same type of book, right? You expect one thing from Rom, and then you get something like this. And that's what I love about Rom's work, is that no matter what your expectations of it will be, he will always deliver something different. Many Deaths of Layla Starr, which for me is high contender for best book of the year, was way different than I thought it would be. And I am fairly certain that the upcoming Radio Apocalypse from Vault will be the same way. But I was rather enjoying his Catwoman run. I liked the subtle approach to the character, the nuance that he was packing in, the introduction of Father Valley, the way he used Alleytown, the way he was able, especially in the newest issue, to kind of continue his threads and his narrative while still very much leaning heavy into Fear State, right? So that's going to be sad. We'll get a new writer on that, and that will be cool. But we'll have had a really great chunk of Rom V Catwoman. He's also leaving Justice League Dark. Justice League Dark, of course, is the 10-page backup stories in Brian Michael Bendis' Justice League. So I guess I don't really have a reason to keep up with that one anymore. But I loved what Rom V was doing there. He had amazing artists. Recently, Sumit Kumar. So we had the exact same creative team of These Savage Shores doing Justice League Dark. He's been leaning heavy into this Merlin stuff. And I'm loving it. And I'm loving what he's doing with just 10 pages, telling so much story, packing so much of it in, and doing it in a very artistic, expressive type nature. I will miss Rom V on Justice League Dark. That being said, he's done 12. When it's all said and done, and that's ending in December too for him, he will have done 12 issues with 10-page stories and the annual. And of course, he wrapped up the end of the last run, basically wrapping up what Tynan did, set up what he was doing, and it also set up his Swamp Thing stuff. So let's go to Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing's sticking around. Okay, so a lot of people out there are saying, see, we told you Rom V's gone from DC, DC sucks, and blah, blah, blah. No, each book needs to be judged and based on its own merits, right? Rom V's work is not done at DC right now at all for the time being. There is an unnamed project somewhere in the works that he's working with for DC, and also he alluded to the idea in his newsletter, and there's nothing official about this aside from the statement he just said about Swamp Thing, which is ending its miniseries run with issue 10. He does say Swamp Thing Season 2 is incoming. More news on that soon. So let's kind of recap everything. Rom V is exiting Catwoman and Justice League Dark, but he's going to continue Swamp Thing, and he's got other works in the progress for DC Comics. And he's also got other projects from other companies. Like we were talking about, Radio Apocalypse at Vault. That seems like it's going to be really cool, because when him and Anand RK work together, they produce magnificent gold, just like they did last year with my favorite book of that year, Blue and Green. So you definitely want to check that one out. But I'm really excited for Rom. the explanations that he gave were basically that he was doing a lot of work. He just recently had a kid. I didn't even know that. 4 months ago, he had a kid. I didn't even know that, right? So congrats and station, Rom. So a lot of things have changed in his life, and he mentioned that he really doesn't like feeling like he's not putting his all into his work. He said he's not someone who can just pump out scripts and just, do work for hire like that, that he really wants to focus in, hone in. And rather than seeing some of these other books dip in quality, I would just rather him move on and be able to dedicate his mind to what he wants to do, and I'm really excited about that. Plus, he's got some other things outside of comics that he's wanting to get going. So, y'all know me. I'm a huge Rom V fan, so yes, it hurts that Rom V will not be doing the Justice League Dark backup. It hurts that he's not going to be doing Catwoman anymore. But it's really exciting to know that he's going to continue to work at DC, that he's got a Swamp Thing second miniseries in the works, and even more creator-owned work, and even more work outside of comics. So, Rom, congrats on the kid. I hope everything works out. And you out there, let me know, what do you think about this news? Are you excited for him to focus on more fantastic works? Are you disappointed that he's dropping those books? Are you gonna drop those books now that he's gone? I'm interested to see who's gonna take over Catwoman. Justice League Dark, I was only reading Justice League for so long for Rom, I'll be honest with you. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. This is Pop Culture Philosophers. You are awesome. Station. Thanks for rocking with us.